This is the Herd Line News.
Well, lots of big games this week, starting with the one tonight. But the Bills and Chiefs face off on Sunday Night Football this weekend.
Yes.
The last two times these teams met was in last season's AFC Championship.
Yeah.
Chiefs were victorious.
Yeah.
But Josh Allen isn't paying too much attention to the hype around the rematch.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's week 5, you know. I would assume that they're thinking the same thing. Everybody wants to make this big deal about the AFC Championship rematch, and I get that's what it is, but it's a new year. And, you know, this team's different than last year, and their team's different than last year. Whether we win or lose, we're not going to let that game, you know, define who we are. We're going to have to keep learning and keep growing as the season goes on. But it is, like I said, it is the biggest game because it's the next one, and all of our attention is focused towards this one.
Very, very good game. I worry about Kansas City's defense. I'm telling you. The only way you're going to lose in Kansas City if Mahomes becomes a spectator and this defense does not get people off the field. Cleveland really controlled them for 2.5 quarters.
That is the question this year with the Chiefs. And Josh is right. It's year to year. This is a new team for both teams. We as the media and fans are obviously going to, you know, paint the picture of the rematch. But he's right. It's just week 5 for both of these teams. They're not like, we're going to get them back for the AFC Championship game. They're just trying to win the game. But
you know what,
you
Joey?
are very high on the Bills.
Oh, I love the Bills GM. I love their owner. I love everything about them.
The Bills are my Super Bowl pick.
You know why?
Year.
This is why. Listen, we love when the Dodgers win and the Lakers win. But LA is kind of glamorous, and that turns people off.
Right.
The power of the NFL is this. Right now, you can make arguments that the best teams in the league are Green Bay, Baltimore, Buffalo, and Kansas City. Smack dab either in the middle of the country or forgotten Eastern Seaboard teams. That is the power of the NFL, that I can't wait to watch a game between. If Buffalo was playing Kansas City in the NBA or baseball, if they had a baseball, I wouldn't be as the NFL does a great job with a pretty restrictive cap.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you get the right quarterback, market size is totally irrelevant. But that game, we could see that game 10 times in 15 years. Josh and Mahomes. Now Justin Herbert may have something to say with that, but Buffalo, Kansas City.
No, it's
for 10 years could be the epicenter of the AFC Championship.
But also those smaller market teams have long-standing brands in the league, and the Packers and the Chiefs and the Bills, and have unbelievable fan bases as well.
Yeah.
And now with, you know, the ability to watch games from wherever you are in the world, and you don't have to be in that market, you can now see these great players in these great franchises with great fan bases.
Last week, both New York teams won. It was like the first time in 3 years. It was like, I mean, seriously, like in football is the only sport where New York has no advantage. In fact, I would argue because of the pressure of the media, GMs are more inclined to make a move they probably shouldn't make. The NFL right now has got all these great, classic, middle American brands, and they're all, I mean, if the Colts could get their quarterback right, they'd be rolling.
It is the power of the NFL, though, because I don't think that necessarily applies to the NBA.
It does not, or baseball.
But I would argue that the reason why it matters more in the NBA is because the NBA is more of a global brand.
Yeah.
And, you know, you have people from all over the world watching teams are going to pay attention to the New York team and the Los Angeles team and the team in Miami.
Well, and baseball's got no salary cap, so the Dodgers and Yankees have a huge financial advantage over the A's or Pirates.
Well, the Bills have also been blowing everyone out outside of the Steelers in week 1.
Yeah.
So to your point about the defense, this could be a very, very interesting matchup for the Chiefs. So huge NFC West matchup tonight on Fox.
This is the Herd Line News.
Well, Jimmy Garoppolo is battling a calf injury he suffered in last week's loss to the Seahawks. He did not practice yesterday, and Trey Lance took first-team reps instead, but he is still, Jimmy G, hoping to be able to start on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, the initial reaction, you're obviously bummed about it and everything, but, yeah, just pulled the calf a little bit, so it's nothing too serious, and just take it day by day at this point. I tweak the muscle, whatever word you want to use for it. Yeah. I strained it a little bit. See where I'm at tomorrow and everything, but yeah, just I don't want to put anything in stone yet.
Calf injuries are the worst. You think they're done? They never are. They're the worst.
Well, yeah, I mean, anytime it has to do with a muscle, it's
you've had those
it's
injuries.
Just a lot of rest and rehab, but you have to try to go full speed, and you have to be delicate with it because you could go full speed and make it worse. Now, this is Jimmy G, so who knows?
Yeah.
He's missed 13 games with a torn ACL in 2018, sprained ankle. He missed 10 games in 2020, and now we have another injury this year with this strained calf. Kyle Shanahan said before practice yesterday the doctors believe he has a chance to play on Sunday. I mean, again, this isn't really like particularly news with Jimmy.
Yeah.
We knew this was coming into the season, that he probably wasn't going to play all of the games this season. It's just a part of his game. He's not always healthy. It's not like saying anything personal about Jimmy G. He's just a injury-prone player.
Yeah, and he's not reckless. So it's not a Carson Wentz situation. He's just injury-prone. Like some guys just run into traffic. He doesn't. He got hurt once just running to a sideline.
His lack of availability is the reason why Trey Lance is there.
That's right.
It's not that he isn't capable of being a winning quarterback.
Right.
We know what Kyle Shanahan's record is without Jimmy G. So he is absolutely a winner. He's just, availability is a skill. So it's a day-to-day situation with Jimmy G. My question with this situation is, if it does end up being a week-to-week thing with this injury, which is obviously entirely possible, and you have Trey Lance out there, at what point does it become Trey Lance's team if Trey Lance is playing in a competent fashion? Now, if he's out there looking like a rookie and making huge mistakes, that's a different conversation. But at what point, like 3 weeks from now, Trey Lance is out there playing and winning games, do you go back to Jimmy G? Because we know that Trey Lance is the future.
If you're winning games, no.
What if you're in games
and losing, and Arizona?
Well, if he wins the next 3 games, I mean, if he loses the next 3 games or something like that,
then
so
you'd
like
go
hypothetically if Jimmy's out.
Yeah,
then
if Jimmy G played and lost the next 2 games, I think you would probably go to Trey Lance. I think it's very much, let's watch the game and see what happens. I really do think this is we'd prefer Jimmy G. I think they'd prefer Jimmy G this year.
No, I think they would too, obviously.
Yeah.
That's why he's there and they didn't trade him. But my question is, if he is out for a significant amount of time and Trey Lance is looking competent, how do you go back to Jimmy G? Because Trey Lance is there to be the future anyway.
I want to see Trey Lance be competent. I think Justin Fields is way ahead of him. Like way, way ahead of him.